Hey everybody, what's happening? Welcome to the Castlecast Live. We're doing something completely different with our good pal Mark Vidreiro. Hello, Mark. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello. So
What's up?
we're doing something completely different tonight. We're going to talk about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That's something that Heather and I are about to do. I thought the perfect thing to do was to have Mark on. We could talk about tips and tricks, maybe things that we need to know before we go in. Maybe it could help you as well. Mark was just there. How long ago? Was it a month now?
No, it was only I think maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so not a little under a month. I am so nervous about going. I'm excited and nervous. I'm nervous because I don't feel like I'm going to do some of the things that I really want to do. So I was hoping you could walk us through, tell us how you did it. I'd like to know that. So if you're here for Funko Pop Talk, we're not going to be doing much of that tonight. This is all about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So, Mark, tell us, how in God's name did you get on Rise of the Resistance ride? How did you do it? I've been reading all of these articles and people are going friggin' bonkers over it.
So my wife and I every night we'll sit down, eat dinner. I'll play video games. We'll watch YouTube videos and stuff. And so for maybe a month, we would just watch various Disney videos, Galaxy's Edge videos, and I have a couple friends down in Florida who go to Disney, so it was just a ton of research going into this. So going into it, we knew that we had to be there early, which was the first step. So we left. Thankfully, we found a hotel that was 10 minutes away, so we were able to get to the park at about 6:40ish, and they open up at 7 o'clock. We got into the park, which we probably could have gotten earlier because we thought we had to walk quite a distance, but it's literally maybe a 3-minute walk from the car into the actual park. So we waited for a tram to come to take us because we thought it was going to end up being like a half-mile walk or something. And so we get the tram, we get in. What we weren't told is that you have to actually be in the park, not in the parking lot, not in the area that they check your bags and stuff in. You actually have to physically be in the park after they scan your Disney Pass or your Disney Watch, whatever you have. Once you get into that, you can open up your Disney app and join the online queue to get onto the ride. So the whole time we were taking the tram, we were walking in, we were getting our bags checked, we're trying to check in, and it's telling us your party's not there, and we're getting really worried. But we were able to get into the park. We got into group 124, and they tell you when you join your group if it's going to be in the preferred group or if you're going to be outside of the preferred groups.
Let me stop you for a second. You're in group 124. Does that mean that it starts at number 1?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Go ahead.
So one of my friends said usually they do about 90 to 95 groups a day. So she said there's a good possibility that we can get on if they get through all the groups quickly, but do not be surprised if they never get to our number. So that was at 7:05, 7:10. We get our group. So we went about, we did some stuff. About 2 hours later, we checked. They're up to group, I think, 30 to 35. So we're thinking 2 hours, 30 groups, another 8 hours. We should be fine. We did all our stuff throughout the day. We got off of the Star Tours ride. My wife checked her phone, and she got the notification saying that our group was boarding. And they tell you once you get the boarding call, you have, I think, an hour or 2 hours to get in line for the ride. So we got that at about 5:50. We got in line at 6, waited till about 7 to actually get on the ride, just waiting in line. And then the ride was about 20, 25 minutes. And
wow.
it was amazing.
That is a long ride.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say it's a ride because the first, I would say the first 10, 15 minutes is more of an experience and an adventure, and then you actually go on to the actual ride.
Okay, so is it mind-blowing experience? Is it incredible, or is it How would you
Yeah,
describe it?
so when you're waiting in line, you're going through like all these caves and stuff, and they have all these cool props and stuff against the wall. So you're looking at guns and jackets and bags and stuff like that, which is fun. When you get to the very end, and probably the most gut wrenching part of the whole thing is you would turn a corner and you're like, all right, this is our time. And it would be like another 20 feet of line. And you're like, oh, I can't do this. And then 5 minutes later, you'd be like, oh, we're going around a corner and it's another 20 feet of line. So
oh my God.
once you finally do that, and you get to the actual, I guess, start of the experience, they break you up into some groups and stuff like that. And they tell you to go through a door. So you go through the door. I think we were in a group of, I think 16 or so. They as you go through, they count you off, like how many's in your party. 2, you go over here. How many's in yours? 4, you go over here. So they broke us up into that group of 16. We go into a room, and they shut the door behind us, and they have a BB-8 up in the the wall, kind of like projecting on a screen, like messing around with stuff. Like it's actual BB-8, and he's doing whatever. Awesome. So you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, like an animatronic.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just pops up a holographic Ray. And it is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It is not a projection on a wall. It's not a video screen. It is literally like a holographic person in front of you. So she's giving you the rundown of like, you're part of the resistance. We need you to go do this, this, and this. So you start getting amped up. Door opens, and outside now you're outside again, and they have 2. What's the word I'm looking for? Disney players, I guess they're called.
Okay.
And they're urging you. They're like, all right, troops, come on, let's go. We need to get aboard this ship. Let's go. And everyone's, trying to take pictures because there's Poe Dameron's X-Wing behind you.
Wait a minute. So you're physically outdoors for real outdoors?
Yeah. So when you start the line, you're outside. You go through caves, and then you go back outside. So they're rushing to get us onto the ship, but everyone's like taking pictures because it's at this point it was nighttime, so everything was lit up. It was amazing. So you get on this ship, and I really wish we had a chance to ride the ship again, because there's the front and the back of the ship both play different videos out of the windows based on where you're standing. So front of the ship, they had a Mon Calamari, which is the species that Admiral Akbar is. He was piloting the ship. Then he was getting incoming transmissions from Poe and Finn and other X-Wing members and stuff like that. So he breaks down the mission, what we're going to do, yada, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, we get attacked by TIE fighters. So now the TIE fighters are shooting at us, and you're seeing lasers all over. And if you're in the back, I think you can see ships going down and things crashing and stuff like that. So I was up towards the front.
Are you physically standing up, or are you now sitting down in the car?
Yeah. So you go into the ship, you're standing up. There's bars to hold on to, and it moves a little bit. I wouldn't say it moved like really crazy, but it moved a little bit. So eventually the First Order gets a hold of our ship, and they bring us in with the tractor beam onto a Star Destroyer. So, they question the pilot, like, what are you? He tells us we're civilian transport, we're not doing anything wrong. So, without any warning, doors open, and all you see outside of the doors are I think about 4, maybe 3 Imperial officers. Behind them is about 50 stormtroopers.
Oh my god!
And you're in an airplane hangar bay, and it's got to be at least 200 feet high. There's a TIE fighter. There's droids. You're basically in the bay of a Star Destroyer, and it's surreal.
That's
and
amazing.
The whole time, it is, and you just see all these stormtroopers. And I looked at my wife, and I'm like, we're supposed to be getting kidnapped right now, but I can't stop smiling when this should be a serious situation in the movie. So, so they tell you to get out of the ship, because we're going to be led down for interrogation. So like I said, you walk out, there's all these stormtroopers. I'm pretty sure they're all just props, but one or two of them, their heads move a little bit, so they're probably, a couple animatronics in there. But there's just all Imperial officers everywhere. So they start leading you down a hallway, which you go by a TIE fighter, which is insane if it's actual. I'm assuming it's actual scale, so it's crazy to see how, big it is.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. So you walk down the hallway, and it's exactly like you see in the movies. It's a gray hallway, black floors, red trim, red lights, everything. So we walk down the hallway, we get to the end, and they start splitting you up into groups again. How many's in your party? 2, go over here. 4, go over there. So the Disney player that we had, he was dead serious in his character. It was amazing. He looked at us and was like, you are all traitors to the First Order, and we are going to be interrogating you, every last one of you. Hands behind the back, the whole... it just felt like you were in the movie.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome. So they break us up into groups again. They break you down into 4 color groups, which was silver, orange, blue, and green. So they break you up into the groups, and they take, I think, 2 groups into one room, 2 groups into another room where they say they're going to interrogate you. So you go into the room, and it's kind of like a triangle-shaped room. Like, so when you walk in, it's flat, and then the room comes to a point. So you're in there. It's completely, for the most part, I want to say dark, but there is hint of red light and stuff like that. So you're in there, and you're wondering, like, what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, behind you, General Hux shows up with Kylo Ren. They were holograms. They start interrogating you, telling you, one of us is a resistance spy, and he's going to find out who it is, and he's going to interrogate every last one of us. Then something happens, interrupts him, so that he gets told he needs to go to the bridge, so he leaves with Hux. So now you're just sitting there, and you're like, all right, what's going to happen? So all of a sudden, the door to the left of me started having like a glow outline. And I'm like, oh, God, this is probably Kylo Ren or something about to bust through the door and just start force choking everybody in this room. But it ends up being Resistance. So the door opens, it pushes back, and there's like 2 Resistance people in there, Disney players. And they start telling you to get into the cars. This is where the actual ride starts now. So by now, you've probably spent like 10, 15 minutes just going through the whole thing. So they break you up into 2 cars, which are all, I don't want to say powered, but they're supposed to, act like they're driven by R5 units. And I posted the video of the ride about 30 seconds after we got on because I realized how incredibly cool this was, and I wanted to make sure I remember it. And then that's it. You go on the ride for like the next 10 minutes. You go through just all through these rooms and stuff. The probe droid comes down.
I watched the video on IGN of the actual ride, so I kind of have an idea of what the ride's going to be like, and it looks really wild. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really hoping I can get on the ride. You're telling me, so let's like rewind back. So instead of talking about this ride, you get to the park. As soon as you go through the gate, you need to be on the app. Is that what you have to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as you scan your card, your I think you guys have the Disney watches or the bands.
Yeah.
As soon as you scan that in and walk into the park, open up the app, click on I think Star Wars or whatever, and then do Rise of the Resistance, and then just join the queue. And another point is you also have to make sure that you both have an account on the app, and who's ever the head account has to add the other account as a guest, so that way it's a party, so that way you guys both can get in line.
Oh, did we do that?
We have that.
We do have that.
Yes.
So on our apps right now, we're both as a group.
You and I are connected.
We are. Okay, good. All right. So we're connected. So that's a good thing. So how did you not know that? So you knew this going in, right? So you already had read up about all this.
Yeah, for the most part. I don't like a couple. Nobody really explained it to me that we had to be actually inside the park. I thought we just had to be within the vicinity, or, like I said, when they checked your bags and you walk in. I thought that was it. All right, we're good. But I didn't know that we had to wait until we actually scanned our cards to get in. But I mean, it worked out in the end because that day they ended up going through. I think last time we saw it was up to group 145.
Oh shit!
So we got in, and they still had plenty of time to do another 20 groups.
So there was a note that my friend sent me about all this, and it reads like this: latest tips for Ride of Resistance. No need to get there at the crack of dawn, which is a good thing. We don't have to get there at the crack of dawn. You just need to be in the park before the park opens. Keep your app swiped off. There will be announcements. As soon as the park opens, quickly open the app and try for boarding pass. We got number 73 at 8 a.m., got in line at 5:20 p.m. Ride broke down once we were in queue. We walked off the ride at 7:30. They called up BP 90 and no more. I don't know what that means. They called up BP
boarding pass.
Boarding pass 990 and no more. The rest of the group got in line at 7:30 and it was 10:10 when they walked out. Would I do this again? Not until FP, or I guess Fast Pass are offered, but worth doing it if you can. So a lot of it is just time, waiting, and all that kind of stuff. But knowing what you're telling me and knowing what I'm reading here, I feel pretty confident we're going to be able to ride this thing. I feel pretty confident.
I would still get there at crack of dawn.
Okay.
There's so much to do in Galaxy's Edge and just so much to see and all the little nooks and crannies. I still feel like we could have done a lot more. And then even if you guys get there crack of dawn early and you do everything by 3 o'clock or whatever, the Millennium Falcon ride, people were getting through that pretty quickly. And I told my wife, I said, if we would have planned a little bit better and crunched in a little more time, we probably could have ridden that maybe another 2 times and gotten different rolls when we got on the ride instead of the one time that we got on and we had basic rolls.
Huh. So there's a question. Charlie, a good pal, Charlie Cook from Mid-Atlantic Collector. He said, so seeing that you got there at 6:40 and got group 124, would you recommend getting there earlier?
We got there at, like I said, we parked in the lot at like 6:40, and the park didn't open till 7. Okay. So we were there as soon as it opened.
Okay, so you couldn't have done any better. You couldn't do any better than what you did.
I mean, we could have gotten there earlier and actually lined up at the gate, but
were there a ton of people lined up at the gate when you arrived?
No, because by the time we got on the tram and got in, everything was open already. So,
I see.
Like I said, we wasted time thinking the tram was going to take us a quarter of a mile, when really we could have just walked the stupid thing.
Oh, okay, all right. I remember you mentioning that. Okay, because I have an idea. So, luckily, there's a plus side to our trip there. We're actually staying at a Disney resort, so we're going to be taking a bus in. So as soon as the bus pulls up, we get off, we walk up to the front gate, and then we're in the waiting line. Did they build? Well, you got there after the doors, I guess, had opened. I'm wondering if they form lines to get into the park as soon as you arrive.
I would hope so.
Because I've gone before in the past, and they usually just have people are just sitting around everywhere, all over the ground, leaning up against shit. And then you basically, when they ring the bell and it's time to go in, all the people converge and it's like a big pileup.
I mean, I don't know. I would assume it would be like that or some kind of orderly fashion. This was my first time at Disney ever, so.
Okay. So you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So tell us what you did while you were there, because so far we have the lightsaber experience set up. So we're doing that. And I want to talk a little bit more in detail about that so I understand it a little bit better. We also have the bar. So we're going to be doing the bar as well. Mm-hmm. Did you do the bar?
Yeah, we did the bar. So we're not real big drinkers, so we weren't pressed about getting a reservation for that. Throughout the day, we kept trying to check in for reservations, but it just seemed like every time we chose, it said there's no reservations. So, we were a little bit bummed, but we figured, let's just ask the person. At the end of every line, there's a guy holding a sign saying this is the end of the line. So we went up to him and we asked him. We said, hey, we're trying to make a reservation, but it seems like everything's booked. Are there going to be any walk-ins for today? And he looked at us and said, name. And my wife goes, no, we don't have any reservations. Can we walk in later on today? And he looks at us and just goes, name. And my wife's like, no. We don't have any reservations. So I finally just looked at my wife and I said, will you just give him your damn name? So, she's like, Liz. And he's like, how many's in your party? And we were like, it's just 2. And he's like, all right, you're all set. Go ahead. And he just let us in line right there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I would like to think that if we were like, yeah, we have 12 in our party, he'd be like, yeah, it's not going to happen. But yeah, so he let us in line, which was really cool. So I guess if your party's big enough, they sit you in a booth, which is pretty cool. But since it was just the 2 of us, they put us at a table with like 6 other people, which was kind of fun, but it's whatever. So you get in there and it's a cantina. It looks just like a New Hope. Like it's just music playing, bartenders serving drinks, people having drinks, neon lights.
Is it
so
really loud? Is it really loud in there?
No, I wouldn't say it's really loud. I mean, like we could talk, and at one point there was a couple trying to take a picture, so we offered to take the picture for him. And I mean, you can hear people talking. It wasn't like, going to like a music club or anything like that. It wasn't too loud. Okay. The cool thing I found out though is that DJ R3X, who is the DJ in the Cantina, which they made a Funko Pop of, is actually voiced by I think it was Paul Rubens, who was Pee Wee Herman, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we got a table that was just in front of him, so he was spinning the tunes, playing the jams. There is a remix version of the Cantina song, which was pretty cool.
Okay.
And then the waiter that we had was very funny, joked with us, played games and stuff like that. As far as the drinks and stuff go, I mean, it's your typical overpriced Disney, overpriced alcoholic drinks.
So to stop you right there, my buddy Eric, or our friend Eric, he went like before Christmas, but I'm sure they had the same drinks. He got a drink that had some sort of foam that makes your lips tingle, and he wasn't warned about it, and he got it, and he thought he was having a stroke. He didn't know what it was.
There's a drink that literally looks like dish soap. And as you drink it, it just numbs your whole mouth. We didn't get that because we didn't want to. I think we already spent like $70 in the Cantina just buying 2 drinks and a snack thing to eat. So we didn't get that. They had another drink that was constantly bubbling and fizzing and stuff, like out of the glass and stuff, which was pretty cool. My wife got a pork drink, which was like a mixture of like Sprite, lemon juice, and some other stuff that came in a souvenir pork cup, which I actually have right here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's I think it was like $40 or $42, something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so they bring you a brand new one. You don't get the one that you drink out of. So she had that.
What is that thing made out of? What is it made out of? Is it like plastic?
No, I'm gonna say ceramic. I feel like I could smash this and it would break easily.
Okay.
I got some kind of blue milk drink, which I'm craving a blue milk so badly. But mine was like mixed with like blue milk with some other kind of juices and stuff, and then they topped it off with a sugar cookie that had like some kind of chocolate sprinkle icing on there, and then like a hard white candy or something like that. But it looked like a bantha ear kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really delicious. But other people had all the alcoholic beverages, and it was really cool. The only thing I didn't get a chance to see was they had for $85 you can get a beer flight, which I don't know what kind of beer they make there or whatever, but it comes with like a little board, and there's 4 shot glasses in there, but the shot glasses are actually supposed to be Rancor teeth.
Oh,
Which
I saw that.
I really wanted it just for the set, but one, I wasn't going to pay $85 for it, and 2, I don't really drink beer, so it would have just been my wife chugging 4 shots, and then I would have just looked like a horrible person.
So the lightsaber experience is something that I'm a little concerned about, and so Rise of Resistance is one problem child for me, and then the lightsaber experience. So it's my understanding I really want the Rancor tooth, or there's like some sort of tooth for the lightsaber build. Apparently, if you go too late, they run out of that particular piece.
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, so if that's not true and you did see it, that makes me feel a lot better. But I want to get there earlier or sooner rather than later. Heather, what time are we set for that?
7:45 p.m.
Was that the earliest?
That was the only.
That was the only one. So, from what Heather, tell them about what you know about this.
So one of my clients actually went, and he didn't do any planning at all for that particular part of the of his day, and he said that he walked up and waited like 15 or 20 minutes and was able to build one.
So I'm hoping
if you guys have an appointment, then it should work out.
Well, I'm hoping that we can walk up and then just do it. Like, they're just like, you know what, come on in, you can do it now, instead of having to wait all day. So I told Heather, once we get there and figure out what the Rise of the Resistance thing is going to be like, then we know how to proceed with the rest of our day. Because we're set with the bar at one point in time, we're set with the lightsaber at one point in time. Needless to say, that particular day is like, for me. Like, Heather, I don't think Heather even gives one single shit about it. I think you're going to be blown. You're going to be mind blown once you see the land.
Yeah, I'm
and
excited.
Like how cool it is.
I can go with you, Chris, if she doesn't really care.
Well, it depends. Will you make sweet, sweet love to me? That's
only on the Millennium Falcon ride.
That's one of the conditions. Yeah. Speaking of the Millennium Falcon ride, I heard that was a lot easier to get on than obviously than Rise of Resistance, because it's been there for a while.
Yeah. And it's a lot quicker of a ride too. So when you go in, the line's going to seem like it's really, really long, but you only see probably half of it because the other half goes through the building. And I don't think you actually go on the Falcon that's actually in like the courtyard either, which is kind of disappointing, but it's whatever. But yeah, that's, it's just another waiting in line for however long. And throughout the day, there's a board next to the Falcon in the courtyard, and it tells you the wait time. We saw the wait time fluctuate from, I think, like 35 minutes up to an hour and a half throughout the day.
Wow.
And it depends. Like we saw the line super short, we saw it really long. But you get on that, you go through the line. The cool thing about the line is that it actually wraps around the Falcon that's in the courtyard. So as you're waiting in line, you can just stare up at the Falcon for like maybe a third of the line. Then awesome. You actually go through a building which is pretty much just like it's like a garage, and it's just droid parts, speeders, stuff like that. Then they take you into Honda Anako's shop, where it's an animatronic person up there giving you details and stuff like that. Then you go through the door and you're on the Millennium Falcon. And I don't think there's ever been a moment in my life where I wanted to cry, because once you walk into that hallway of the Millennium Falcon and you see the like white, I mean, I always thought of them as like white padded walls,
Right.
I just jaw hit the floor, and I just walked around. I was like, this is everything I've ever wanted in my entire life.
That's so awesome.
And then you look over, and there's the hologram chess table, and it's, you grow up seeing the Millennium Falcon. You see where, Chewie plays the chess, and you see where Luke sits, and it's just, it's an unreal 30 seconds that you're in that area for.
That is so badass. I can't wait for that because I did see your photos. You took a lot of really good photos there. And I was looking through them, and that's kind of what added a little bit more to my excitement. The ride itself, did you like that ride?
So they break you up into groups again. They tell you how many in your party. And they split you up. So you get 6 people per group that go on the ride. There's 2 people in the front that are the pilots. 2 in the middle are gunners, and then 2 in the back are I forgot what mechanics or engineers or something. So my wife got gunner, and I got engineer. So they just tell us whatever buttons are flashing, hit the buttons. Now, if you're the pilot, you're steering. And this is the one thing I found out is that if you're the co-pilot, you get to pull back on the levers that Chewbacca gets to pull on when they go into hyperspace. And I told my wife, I said, if we get pilot, I want you to be co-pilot. I want to be pilot because when they tell you to take the jump into light speed, I wanted to turn to her and just yell out, punch it, Chewie, and then have her pull back.
That's awesome.
But, we ended up having fun. But like I said, if we would have planned better, we probably could have got back on and got, another position or something like that. But they hand them out randomly. I think everybody wants to be the pilot, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, my buddy Eric, he went on the ride, and he said the person didn't know how to fly it, and they just kept smashing into the ground or whatever. They were just hitting into everything, and he said it was such a horrible experience that he had to go back through and fly it just so he felt better about the experience itself. And he said he was able to do it twice just fine. He didn't have an issue doing it twice.
Yeah, like I said, I wish we could have done it one or 2 more times. Mainly just because I wanted to yell punch at Chewie, which I'm sure I wouldn't be the only one or the first one to do it.
So you built a droid and you built the lightsaber.
Yep.
What was your favorite of the 2?
I'm going to say the lightsaber.
Okay,
the lightsaber was really awesome.
Do you have the lightsaber?
I do have the lightsaber with me.
Okay, I want to see it. Oh, okay. So you made that looks like a Luke Skywalker lightsaber.
So when we got there, we made sure that we made our appointments to do the droid and the lightsaber early on in the morning. So that way we got those out of the way. Whole rest of the day, do whatever. Because I didn't want to be, in the middle of the Millennium Falcon line, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, we got an appointment to go build a droid in 10 minutes. We got to leave.
Right.
Which we did see 1 or 2 people waiting in line, and then the kids were like, I have to go to the bathroom, and they left, and I'm like, that sucks. So we did that early in the morning. So when you guys get there and you go to build your lightsaber, they won't respond to, hey, where can I build a lightsaber? Where's Savvy's workshop? They're just going to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. That means nothing. So going into it, I knew what I had to say. So I walked up to a Disney player and I said, I'd like to buy some scrap metal. And they said, oh, certainly. It's going to be right over this way around the corner. So we walked around the corner, and just from watching videos and stuff, I kind of knew that we were at the right place. So there's a guy holding a data pad, and we walked up to him and I said, yeah, we have a 8 o'clock appointment to build scrap metal. And he was like, perfect, name. And then he checked us in. He gave us a little card which breaks down the 4 groups to choose from to build your lightsaber. So, so I chose mine, and it shows you all the parts that come with each lightsaber as you build them. So I figured out mine. I knew what I wanted to do. Then they ring you up outside there. It was basically about $200. They give you the option.
Real quick. So I know you're about to get into it, but Charlie's asking a question. Do you get a blade with your hilt, or is that something you have to buy separately? And it sounds like that's what you're about to go into.
Yeah. I'm getting there, Charlie. I'm getting to the good stuff. So you purchase your lightsaber for $200. You have the option to add on a belt clip and a display stand, which at the time I said, you know what, you can suck it. I'm not putting add-ons onto my $200 lightsaber. You're already getting enough money out of me today. So they put you in like a little group off to the side to wait. And then I think once all the appointments get there and stuff, a young girl comes over and she tells you like, we're all here for one reason, and we know what that reason is, and we're here to build something. And she was really cool. She interacted with these little kids, and she says, if you see any Imperial stormtroopers, will you please let me know so that way we don't get caught? So she's going on to her speech, and one of the kids is like, hey. And, we look over, and there's stormtroopers walking by, and she was like, oh, my God, thank you. We almost got caught there. We should probably hurry up and get inside. So you get in, you walk in, and it's basically just a darkened room with lights at the top and just like a big kind of, I don't want to say like a circle, kind of like an oval table in the middle where, people can walk in and out of, and they tell you where to go for your station and stuff. Then the person who is the main Disney player within that area goes into this amazing speech talking about the history of lightsabers, how they're used for both the Jedi and the Sith. And as she's telling the story, the lights in the room change. So she talks about Yoda, they turn green.
Oh, cool.
She talks about Luke, they turn blue. Vader, red, all this stuff. And as she's talking, what I really enjoyed about the whole experience is that the music that's playing in the background changes with her story.
Okay.
So you're almost getting like a monologue from like the beginning of the film or something.
That's
cool. So once she goes through that, which is about 5 minutes, she tells you, let's begin and start making them. So then they take the trays out after you hand them a card of what you choose to make your lightsaber based out of. And then they just give you like a quick rundown of how to build a lightsaber really quick, which let me just take mine apart real quick and I'll show you.
Oh, so that's interesting. So is it pretty easy to come apart?
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a little difficult, but it was actually kind of easy.
When it's all put together, is it heavy? Does it feel like it?
It's got some weight to
Really?
it. So, before you even start building it, so this is just the bare lightsaber by itself. I forgot to mention this, but before you actually start building it, they tell you to take a step back, take a deep breath, and think inside of what gets drawn to you, what means the most to you, and then take a step forward and then choose your Kyber Crystal based off of, what your feelings inside say, which I thought was very therapeutic, I guess.
Yeah, adds to the experience.
Yeah. But I already knew going into it what color I wanted, so it was fun. So I decided to go with the blue Kyber Crystal.
Oh, cool. So what colors are there?
So you can get blue, green, red, I want to say purple and yellow also.
Cool.
I think it was 5 choices.
Oh, I'm so good. I think I'm going to go for purple now we're talking about it.
There's a gift shop later on where you can go buy other things of Kyber crystals. So I bought a white one also.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you basically just start off and they tell you to put your Kyber crystal in there, which is...
Oh, that's cool.
It's a little difficult, but it makes cool sounds and stuff.
Okay. So, one piece of information that somebody mentioned was that there's a chance to get a rare Kyber crystal.
Yeah, so they used to have what's the name of it? It's these boxes they had in one of the gift shops, and people were, I don't want to say hacking, but they were finding a way where if you shine a light through the box, you can see what's in it. So people were doing that to find the black Kyber crystal.
Okay. Which
I think eventually Disney caught on, and they, now they have a person stationed there who will not make sure that you're doing that. But yeah, you just go up there and they just have any color you want to buy. It's $15 for an additional Kyber crystal. Comes in this cool little container. Now,
is it possible that those are going to be black?
No. So basically for $50 you get I can't think of the name of it. It's like a hologrome or something like that, but there's a crystal inside of it. It's basically a $50 mystery box.
The holocron?
Holocron, yeah, that's it. So there's the Jedi and then the Sith holocron.
Right.
$50. It's a mystery box. If anyone's ever bought a mystery box before, you're not going to get what you expect.
It's always going to be trash.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like a green or a blue or a red or something like that.
Whatever you don't want will be in that box.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so basically when you put the Kyber Crystal into the lightsaber, it kind of glows a little bit, which is cool. It makes a noise. I think it makes a different noise for depending on which color you put in, which is really cool.
Interesting.
And then basically it's just you just match up pieces where they're supposed to go.
Now, how many pieces do you think there are total? Do you know?
So for your lightsaber that you're building, you get, I think, 2 choices, and you got to choose one for each part.
Okay.
So, like for the middle part, like I went with something like this, which actually has a switch, or you can choose one that has a button. So those are my 2 choices.
Okay.
I didn't want the button because that's kind of lame. I'd rather have a switch because, I don't know, it's just a lot cooler to switch something on.
So switch meaning that you're pushing the switch back up and down?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can do a button and just be a simp and not a real badass or anything. Then you got your sleeves, which are next, and you get to choose, I think, four different types. And you just put those on. And then you got your end pieces, which you just pop those on. And you just tighten them up.
That thing is pretty damn big.
It's it's like I said, it's got a nice weight to it. It's definitely not a very small object. I mean, it's the size of my. Another cool thing is when you don't have the saber in it, it does make a cool sound like it's broken.
Really?
Yeah. Give me. I'll see if I can get it to be loud.
Oh yeah.
So, and then once you put the actual the saber in, which I do have, Charles.
Can you stand back so we can see it?
Yeah. If you guys don't mind seeing me in pajama pants.
No, that's okay. Actually, this is kind of why I'm doing it. We wanted to see your pajama pants.
So once you have your saber built, person comes around, they double check to make sure that everything's fine, that nothing's wrong. They tell you that years ago there was a person who would, I guess, activate the lightsabers and stuff like that, and that person's not here, obviously, so we're gonna, they built a machine to do it. So they tell you to push your hilt into a hole, turn it, and then close your eyes, and then activate your lightsaber after you take a deep breath, and then you activate it, and it's in like this kind of long tube thing, and it's dark, and then once you activate it, you see your lightsaber glow.
Cool.
Then the thing opens up, and you just pull your lightsaber out, and then you just sit there in astonishment of how freaking awesome it is. Or you could be like the 2 kids that were across from us and started fighting and got yelled at. But yeah, and then you get the cool lightsaber.
So can you walk around with your lightsaber, or is that something that's frowned upon? Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, there was so many kids and teenagers and grown men walking around with lightsabers all day.
That's awesome.
We actually saw one guy in front of a door, which I assume that they just bring stuff in and out of, who was just doing all these Jedi moves, and his girlfriend or wife was recording it, and I was just like, that guy's living the dream right now, and she probably hates it. And he was dressed up in full Jedi robes too.
Oh my god!
And you remember the Star Wars kid, the video of the kid with the it was basically like that, but just imagine a 35-year-old guy in a Jedi robe with one of these.
That's awesome.
That's all he was doing.
Heather, I gotta buy a Jedi robe before we go. We got a couple days.
You can get the Jedi robes there.
I'm gonna shit whip across. I'm gonna shit whip across one of the little pads there with my lightsaber. I'm fall on the ground, bust my lightsaber, smash. So like that blade piece. Can you snap that in half easy, or is it like a hard material?
I want to say it's kind of like a plexiglass. I definitely could smash this, but I'm not going to risk it.
So it looked like you pulled that out of a case.
Yeah, so the cool thing was, and I didn't read anything about it or no one told me, so I thought, man, I have to walk around another 10 hours with this thing. I'm definitely hitting somebody with this, or it's going to get broken or something.
Right.
So my plan was, well, let's just go dump it off in the car. But as you walk out, they give you this pretty cool case, which kind of reminds me of like an arrow case, like you would hold arrows in and stuff.
Yeah, like quiver.
Yeah. And it's a very nice case, and it feels like there's a pool noodle inside, so it surrounds the plexiglass of the blade, so that way it doesn't get damaged or anything like that. And then you just huck it on your shoulder over your back and just walk around.
So you put the entire lightsaber in there, the hilt and the blade.
Yeah, if you want to. But I went back to one of the workshops and actually bought the stand so I could display the hilt at least.
Okay.
And then part of me had instant regret when I saw how awesome it was of people walking around with the lightsaber hanging off their belt. So I went back and bought the belt clip.
So how much does it cost for all that?
The belt clip I think was $25. The stand I think was $40. I think.
Son of a bee. See, I'm probably gonna have to have both of those because I want to put my lightsaber on my desk here.
Like I said, I told you I was like, Disney's not getting any more money out of me. And then as soon as I saw the lightsaber dangling off of people's pants, I was like, God, that is awesome. And that's what I did. And I the whole most of the rest of the day I had it hanging off my belt loop.
That's
just
awesome.
Walk around I got a freaking lightsaber here.
Can you do me a favor and show me what it looks like hanging on the belt thing? I just want to see what it looks like.
Also, have you used your belt clip since?
No, but the plan is if we ever go to like cons or anything like that, I might do that.
Okay.
Heather right now. Heather's trying to build reasoning for me not to buy this shit.
Yeah, I'm about to cancel that lightsaber reservation.
For like 8 hours, I was walking around with a lightsaber on my pants. I don't care. It was one of the best feelings ever. Dude, I kept telling my wife, I said, I swear, if a stormtrooper comes near me, I'm going to bash him over the head with this or try to use Jedi powers to get them to go away. But yeah, so this is the belt clip.
Okay.
And it clips in right into there, and then you just press the button, and it just dislodges it.
So is there a piece on every single lightsaber that can clip in there?
Yep.
Oh, I see. Yep. Okay, gotcha. All right, so it does have a piece on all of them. Yeah.
You just slide it in, and that's it.
Now, can you take that belt piece off of the lightsaber if you wanted to?
I think you can. It's just held on there by a screw.
Okay, so that can come off easily.
Yeah, but you might have like a hole, a screw hole.
Right, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, I didn't know if they had like a way in case you wanted to hang it on the wall and you didn't want a piece of like a black piece of plastic hanging off of it.
The way I had it displayed on the my stand was I had the trigger facing out, and so that way the belt clip part was always on the back. So the belt clip part, it's always going to be on the back of the lightsaber.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you look at the front, you're never going to see it.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Can you stand far back? I just want to see how big this thing is. Giggity.
He really wants to see your pajama pants.
Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. That looks great. I like where you're holding it.
It's pretty cool, and it makes the cool sounds like you're hitting something.
That's cool.
My wife keeps making fun of me because sometimes randomly I'll grab the lightsaber before bed and just start Jediing in the office for no reason, or I'll attack the cats.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. So okay, so that's the lightsaber thing. Well, the one thing I want to do while I'm in the park is stand in front of the Millennium Falcon with my lightsaber lit up at night and Heather take a photo of it. I really want that.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I regret not doing that.
Yeah, that's something I really, really want to do, so I will do that. And also in front of Kylo Ren's ship that's sitting there.
Yeah.
So
and then you get your carrying case.
I got to get that. So, all right, the droid. Well, so I'm not doing that. But how awesome was that?
The droid?
Yeah.
You should do the droid. Do the droid.
Do the droid.
So the droid workshop was really cool. So you go in, and we had an appointment. So we skipped a line of like 50 people just doing walk-ins. So I was just like, man, this is awesome. It sucks for those people. I'm glad we did the appointment. So we get in, and then the first thing they ask you, you're going to build the droid. I think it comes out to, I think it's $100 to build a droid. And then they ask you if you want to get the personality chip and this cool bag for like another $60.
Personality chip?
Yeah, so I was like, God damn it, yes, I want the personality chip, and yes, I want the bag. So it came out to like $150 by then.
Oh my God.
So the cool thing with the personality chip is they have, I think, 6 different personality chips. There's the First Order, the Resistance, and then a bunch of other ones. And I'll explain to you why the personality chip is pretty cool. So we built our droid, and they put it in this cool little backpack for you. Then, as you walk around Galaxy's Edge for the rest of the day, you can have your little droid hanging out the backpack. So as you walk around, the droid interacts with different things around the park with his personality chip.
Oh my God.
So we're waiting in line, and then you just hear, like beep beep boop beep boop, and like you hear the head moving and stuff. And the whole time, every time it happens, we're just like, this is so cool. Let me see if I can turn him on real quick, and then it's cool. It interacts with it, and it just makes the experience a lot cooler.
Oh my God.
But it doesn't work anywhere else besides the park.
Oh my God. Yeah, look, Michael Petrino, Disney's not getting any more of my money. Mark, 2 minutes later, do the droid. Do the droid.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he just sits in the backpack and just randomly goes off. And every time we were in line, people behind us were just like, oh my God, look at that.
What does it do? So outside of that, what does it do? That's cool.
It's basically just a remote control droid. So you can take him out of the backpack.
It's actually bigger than I thought it would be. Giggity.
It's a pretty big size. So my wife and I decided to go with like a First Order R2 unit. You can also choose between a BB-8 unit and a R5 unit. But I wanted to go for classic R2 because it's R2.
Right.
So you pick the components. You get different options as far as colors go. The possibilities are endless. There were kids there making like orange, purple, and green droids and stuff like that, and just having fun and living their best life, which was cool. But I was like, nah, I want something that's gonna look like it's from the movie. But yeah, you just it's basically just a remote control R2 unit. They give you this cool little remote, so you get to move his head left or right, forward or back, and then buttons just to make noises.
Okay.
And then I drive it around the condo, just annoying the shit out of the cats, and that's worth the $150 for me.
I like how both of the items that you purchased are specifically for the cats.
Pretty much.
That thing's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah, and then you can buy, go back and buy different personality chips too if you want to, and then, like I said, it alters how he sounds as you walk out, throughout the park and stuff like that. But I decided I didn't want to pay another $15 for another personality chip. I'll just leave him as a First Order droid.
Yeah.
But let me see here if I can show you guys him moving about and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
And then one of my favorite things to do is just the classic R2
That's really neat. I dig that.
Yeah, he's pretty fun. Would have been cool to make like another R2 unit or something, so we could have had battle bots or something in the house. But $160. I mean, you can't really buy a second one.
So we've rolled up on an hour, so we got to start closing things out. But do you have any other tips and tricks that you could throw our way? Is there anything else that we need to know?
Yeah. So one of the first things that I made sure we did was we went and bought a gift card. You're probably saying, why would you buy a gift card if you're just going to be using your credit card and stuff there? So if you buy the gift card, which I think you have to put at least $100 on, but you can use it throughout the day, you get this cool little like souvenir token.
Ooh.
Which is pretty cool. So that was another reason to pick up the gift card, was just another souvenir.
That's awesome.
This has some weight to it. I don't know. There's a cute little port thing that you can buy, it's got a little metal thing you put under your shirt. And then he just hangs out all day with you. My wife loved this. She thought it was awesome.
That is awesome. Look at that.
You'll see tons of these all over, and they're great conversation starters. The whole day, my wife was like, "Oh, I just want a stormtrooper to talk to me." So at the very end of the day, stormtrooper comes up, looks at her, and he's like, "Is that a pet?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he just like puts his blaster up and he's like, "Good luck," and just walks away.
That's pretty funny.
But they interacted with tons of people, which was really cool. Some people were just not wanting to participate and have fun. Other people were playing along and stuff like that, which is cool. As far as merchandise and stuff goes, stuff's expensive. They didn't really have a lot of cool stuff, I thought. They got pretty much like every shop has a magnet, has a t-shirt that you can buy and stuff like that, but there was nothing that was really like, I have to have this, which is kind of good, because I mean, you're already dropping $500,000 on all the other stuff.
Yeah, right. That's what I was going to say. You've already dropped all that money on the droid and on the lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, I was just hoping to find like something that was just really cool, and it just seemed like there was just a lot of stuff that was just kind of meh.
Robert Breaks YouTube says, buy the Millennium Falcon popcorn bucket, and he mentioned...
Yeah, so so we were getting hot chocolate. My wife wanted hot chocolate, and they had it there, I guess, for a winter thing. And I saw this lady with like this purse thing, and it was the Millennium Falcon. And I said, "Oh man, that's a really cool purse." And she's like, "No, that's a popcorn bucket."
Weird.
And I was like, "What?" Yeah. So they like popped the top open, I think, and then just placed like a bag of popcorn inside of it and stuff. But I'm sure it was probably like $25.
Yeah, probably. He also mentions that they have a Groot thing, just like the Porg, that you put on your shoulder. And I happen to know that because a friend of mine at work, he actually got one and he brought it into work. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't know they made a Porg one, so there's a Groot and a Porg apparently.
Yeah, and the whole time I was walking around, I'm like, how the hell are people having these porks stuck to their shirts? I'm like, I can't think of what it could possibly be. It would be a pen? No, they wouldn't sell a pen with a toy.
Right, yeah.
But my wife went to the bathroom and I went and snuck her and bought her one, so she loves it.
Your number one favorite thing you did while you were there, what is it? Because I want to compare when I get back.
Everything.
Was there one thing that stuck out? Was it the lightsaber thing? Was it Rise of the Resistance? Does something pop out and it's like you get giddy even when you talk about it?
Yeah, I wasn't at work for about 14 hours and I was in Star Wars, and it was one of the greatest days of my entire life. I didn't think about work. I didn't think about anything besides I'm in Star Wars.
Right.
Like I said, I've never been to Disney before. I've never been to any of the Disney parks. When we walked in, you literally are taken to a totally different place. You're on a different planet. You don't see any outside buildings. You don't see cars. You don't hear planes. The only thing that catches you off guard every once in a while, you hear like a plane flying off, but it's just speakers around the park playing TIE fighters flying or X-Wings, stuff like that. But you're so immersed into the actual fantasy of being in, Black Spire Outpost. my R2 unit went off. That you you don't realize that you're in some place that's not real. Just everything is just so magical, and now I understand why people go to Disney and visit constantly. It's just it was a great time to escape from reality.
Absolutely.
Except for swiping the credit card every single 5 minutes.
But it's worth it. At the end of the day, you did all these cool things, and when I do experiences like that, I mean, I don't want to spend like an arm and a leg or anything, but you spend a little bit of money. You have to in order to have the good time that you're going to have while you're there. I know we're going to spend a good amount of money, but it's all worth it, and we can look back on all this and say, wow, what a honeymoon we had.
Exactly, and that's what I told her. I said I knew Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge was opening. I said I don't want to plan to go down there right away, but if we're ever in Florida, I would just like to go. And we were able to fit it into our vacation, and I want to go back so badly. I really do. I feel like we didn't get to do everything. There was only one thing we didn't get to do, because at the end of the day, they have, I think it was at 8 or 8:30. They have this really awesome fireworks show. I don't know if they'll have it when you're there. But the wife wanted to go to that, but I was starving, so I pretty much didn't eat the whole day. We had like snacks here or there, but I wanted to go to the restaurant to eat. But she wanted to go to the fireworks show, so I said, "Well, let's go to the fireworks show. I can eat any other time."
Right.
So you go to the fireworks show, and it's like projected on the 3 buildings, and it's basically just like a 15-minute fireworks with flames montage of everything Star Wars. They go through every single character. They go through every part of the film, and it's just it's kind of like, the beginning of the Marvel movies, how they do the montages and stuff.
Yes.
It's kind of like that, but it's blown up by like 100 times with so many more clips, so many more sound bites, lasers, flames, fireworks, and it lasts for like 20 minutes, and it was the perfect way to end the day.
Awesome. Well, we'll stick around for that for sure, because I want to see that too. I've heard good things about that as well.
And try the blue milk.
I will. Milk. I absolutely will. I appreciate all the information. Milk. The green milk.
I personally love the blue milk, so we each got a thing of one, and she didn't care for it. She said it tasted like liquid Fruity Pebbles. I thought it was delicious. It's like in between a smoothie and an icy. Like, it's not as icy as an icy, but it's not as smooth as a smoothie. It's like in between. But I was just, man, if they weren't like $7 for like a little glass, I probably would have just downed like 10 of those things.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try one. I hear there's an alcoholic version of it too, so I'm going to try that for sure.
Yeah, if you want to drop like another $11, $12.
I'm willing. I'm ready and willing, because I want to try every little thing. While I want to try at least every like little option that I possibly can without breaking the bank.
And I hope that you guys get like a cool Disney Player show. So at one point, they had like a little show where Kylo came out and he choked a Imperial officer and then went into the crowd and stuff like that. And then you see Rey and Chewie walking around. But I've seen videos where like they have like an all-out battle between like Kylo and Rey and stuff like that. But they didn't do that, so I'm hoping that you guys get to experience that.
Well, we will come back and we'll give you a full briefing of what we get to see, and we can compare notes. But thank you for coming on and telling us about all this. Robert Breaks YouTube says 37 more days and I'll be back. He says, thank you, Mark, for making me feel like I was back there. So that's awesome.
I wish I could say it was 37 more days and I'd be back.
Hey, only, 5 more days 5 days until we go there for the first time. So, listen, it's a good thing that you didn't experience everything, because it gives you a reason to go back, and it won't, I've been to Disney in general so many times that some of the stuff is just like, I've been there, done that. I don't need to really do that again. But it's always nice to go back and have something new to do. So I'm sure by the time you go back again, they might have a new experience open there and everything. You never know.
You have to go to the hotel, Mark.
Oh, did you see the hotel?
We wanted to do that, but getting close to the... Wait, are you talking about the haunted hotel or the Star Wars hotel?
No. The Star Wars hotel. That isn't open yet.
Yes, that is on my my list of things that will be done in the future.
That is absolutely friggin' insane.
As soon as I win the lottery.
I read about it. It's a 2-day experience where you basically board onto a ship, and then when you want to go into the Star Wars land or Galaxy's Edge, you take a transport down to the planet. It's just like in your room, you look out of a porthole into space. I mean, it's like you're there. And like apparently stormtroopers are running around. Like it's a whole thing inside this hotel. I cannot wait to do that.
It's the whole thing's crazy because like when we got off Rise of the Resistance, we were just like, okay, so we went through the cave, we went outside, went onto a ship. Did the ship move? Now we're inside of the hangar of a Star Destroyer. Where did we go? What happened? Then as you go on the ride, you actually go up a couple levels. Like you go up, I think 3 or 4 stories, and then you go back down. So you're just the whole time you don't know what's going on, and it's crazy. So much stuff that happens at Disney that people don't know about. And of course, I went online and started watching videos of how things are done, and you never expect it. It's so well hidden there that it's just. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the hotel. I just want to go back. I just want to have fun. And if I go back again, I'm totally dressing up and going to be like a 38-year-old weirdo. But I mean, everybody else there is kind of weird. So
well, I'm going to take my shirt off and I'll be Chewbacca while I'm there. So guys, this is the last live we'll be doing for I guess a little over a week. We'll be back on Wednesday the 3rd. Is it the 3rd or 4th?
4th, I think.
The 4th of March. We'll be live once again with you to hang out. We're going to be doing an interview series with Thomas Gray Studholme. If you don't know who he is, he's an excellent artist. We're going to talk about his art. We're going to talk about his collectibles. This is the second interview series we've had him on, so we're really excited about that. We posted a new video tonight. We want you to go and check that out. It's about Pennywise Funko Pops. There's a really weird thing about Pennywise Funko Pops. Heather is like the expert in it, and she explains all of that and more to you. So go and check that video out. We have a couple other videos we've been putting out. We have an Ultimate Grail video that we put out there that we got from Hot Topic. You have to go and check that out as well. Go and watch some of our back catalog until we return, and we'll have more content coming your way. Because Robert Breaks YouTube has been hanging out with us for so long and commenting and being with us, we're going to go ahead and send him one of these stickers. So Robert Breaks YouTube, please reach out to us. We'll send you one of these stickers. We appreciate you giving your input and hanging out with us. It means a lot. We're down to only a few people left here, but hopefully people come back around to watch it and they'll learn. Maybe they'll learn something about their new or upcoming trip to Galaxy's Edge. Maybe things they didn't know. So Mark, thanks for explaining all that to us and more.
No problem. It was fun. Man, I could spend like another 4 hours just talking about everything.
That's okay. We'll have you back on again and we'll talk about it some more.
Yeah.
Well, maybe when we come back,
maybe once you guys get back, we can have a lightsaber battle.
That would be awesome. I was thinking when we come back, we'll go live again at some point, and we'll talk about our experience, so we can kind of compare notes live, and everybody will find out what we thought of it too.
And then maybe we can have lightsaber battle, and then I'll convince you guys to get a droid, and then we'll have a battle bots and see who's got the best droid.
Exactly. But that's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. And as always, remember, we are together, yes. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.